Hmm. Hi, I'd like to speak today about something that I've been looking into recently, which is veganism and its argument against meat eaters. It's kind of opposite to what we usually hear, right? We usually hear the argument against veganism, but in reality, it's more often about the arguments that protect the right of eating meat. And as a meat eater myself, I feel like I'm very interested in this conversation as it offers many insights and many standpoints. So this is nothing new. This has been an ongoing debate over the years with the increasing number of vegan people, of the people that uh, are either vegan or have similar ideas to what vegan people have. And I'm here to break down what clearly I thought about all this. So, to start, hmm, I will dive first into um, the situation around the globe right now between the people who eat meat and the people who don't. So I will split into two groups. One is the people who does eat meat, have meat and dairy in their you know diet. Those are the people who use products from animal, like cows, pigs, and the group number two is the people that denies anything that related to animal products. I know people that drink milk. I mean, the vegan people that drink milk, but also there are vegan people that opposes to milk because apparently to them, milk industry is abuse the animal. We'll dive into that later. So I would just generalize and put into one consistent group that is no milk, no meat whatsoever, plant-based diet, and um, yeah, essentially that. I don't have much knowledge in this field, especially when it comes to scientific research or that. I haven't done any research, and all that I did is to look up the arguments on the internet. I know the preface, the generally how it goes across several platforms such as YouTube, Reddit, Google, the forums, you name it. And yeah, I embrace ignorance. I feel no shame in that. If it's a shame to you, then be it. But I'm here just to share what I think about it. So let's go into that without further ado. So, what is this really all about? So these two groups, right? They exist. Okay, they exist, and we know that they exist. Okay, let's get it straight. I respect. I am in the group one, which is the meat eater one. I eat meat, is included in my diet, and I consume animal products. So I'm in group one, and I totally, first of all, respect my choice. I was born with this diet. I have been always been used to this diet ever since I was born. I get used to it. I love it. I feel like I can continue with it. So I do it. This is my choice. I respect it. Second of all, I respect the group two choice, which is the vegan. I respect vegan people. Those people that don't force their view into other people, don't insult people, just be a normal vegan, essentially. They live their own life, they mind their own business, they eat the plant-based diet, they're happy. I really respect that. I even support. I have a friend who is vegan, and she always just eat plants, soy, beans, tofu, you name it. Very tasty food, very nutritious food. I eat them as well. Personally, I believe that her diet is just as diverse as mine. She always uses a creative cooking method or buy a special food that I never even heard about, and I always support her. Oh, your choice of eating vegan is great. Being vegan, your being vegan is great. I respect it. I support it, and it's just like, okay, yeah, I feel happy being this way, and I respect your choice of eating meat as well. And you think that is the way that things are supposed to go, right? Yes, it is supposed to go like that, but in reality, it's not. It's much more complicated than that. Not everyone has the manner, has, nice respect relationship like me and my friend. Reality is much more chaotic, more complex. And we tackle the first thing that there are two groups, and I totally respect the other group. Okay? Totally respect. I have nothing against them. Nothing against veganism. Nothing against people who eat plant-based diet, who eat plants, and against animal abuse on the world service level, animal abuse on the world service level. Okay, I have nothing against that, because they don't affect my life. They just live their life, they eat plants, they're happy, and good for them, right? We have no reason to be against those people. I'm not angry at those people who just choose different things to eat than me. I don't choose hatred over the people that have different lifestyle than me. To make that clear. So this is the most important thing. Hence, I put that first in my long talk about this thing, because it's multi-layered, complex. I think it's rather took a long time to discuss about. And moving on to the second layer, and here we dive into now is the reason. Okay, let's dive into the reason the people become vegan, as I observed. Okay, as in my friend's case, she became vegan because she found eating plants healthy and tasteful. And she's also a Buddhist, so she limits on eating meat at first, right? But then she completely eliminates the choice of eating meat because she felt like it's not for her. She felt like it's her choice. I mean, it's in her interest to eat plants, and she chooses to do so, right? And also, she can reduce the impact on meat consumption. Good for the environment, less animal gets killed. And that's one case the people get into being vegan. Yeah, it can either be religion, a cause, an interest in food, change in diet. But she also wants to be slimmer and have nicer body too. And she felt like eating meat didn't help her. So, suggest. It's also about health too. But then when we come on the internet and we see a lot of people who convert to vegan because of one cause, and that's it seems like the most common one, which is for a cause, that is to reduce the number of animals being killed for food. This is what we're gonna tackle into today, especially that. So that is the biggest problem, spark the most conflicts. Um, now we have dived into the reasons why people became vegan, and now we will dive into the reasons why people don't convert to vegan. Okay, so take myself as an example. Talk no far. Just here I am because I know who I am. I know my choice. I know why I do this. So I am not a vegan because, first of all, this I have told you before. I grew up in a culture that eats meat. My family eats meat. My friends eat meat. Or most of my country is meat. My traditional cuisine have meat in it. Most tasty food around me is meat. I love it. I love the taste of it. I love eating meat. There's all kind, you name it. The rice cake, the Vietnamese food, there are a whole bunch of things. The rolls, there are many names that I cannot change to English, so I'm gonna say what's familiar to you guys. If you guys from Western countries, which hamburger, fried chicken, like that, yeah. You obviously know how tasty they are if you're a meat eater. So it's in my system, right? It's in my and okay. The second of all, we're not trying to get too fast here. Second, the first is in my system, my health, my my way of living, my lifestyle, and my interest, my choice. The second reason is the belief system. I don't believe. So this is my belief system, right? Get this straight. I don't believe by eating meat I automatically become the killer and abuser of animal. Not even indirectly. Well, this could be meant to take in a way that sounds ignorant, sounds pretentious, like I actively ignore what's actually happening behind the industry, right? The meat industry. Hold on, let me check the record. Okay, it's still recording, right? Behind the industry, I'm not pretend that those mass killings don't happen. I'm just saying on a philosophical stance, yes, my meat did come from killing animal. It did, I don't deny it. Okay? I don't deny it. But here's what's important. Eating meat, especially the one that I bought from supermarket, which have been a long way from the killing to the selling process to the cooking process and to my mouth, is automatically equal to something else much more impactful, like actively killing, even torturing animals. It's just not. Eating meat in my belief system does not equal killing and abuse animal. Accept it or not. If you don't accept it, what can I do about it, right? It's just my belief system. I'm just telling the reason why I'm not a vegan. The third one is, oh, I mentioned it in the first one actually, it's my choice. I know what's happening. I know the veganism concept exists, yet I still choose to stick with my own choice, with my own eating meat lifestyle. Right. And I will not take no further than that, no further than the word surface. Choice is choice. I don't need to explain why I have that choice. You obviously can think about that yourself. You obviously can, you know, do some research into that. But I'm not gonna do further explanation into why I choose so. It just is. It's just on the word surface. I choose the meat. I choose this lifestyle, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Why not? Meat helps me become healthy, and by being healthy, I live. On the basic level, first of all, I survive. I live, okay? Give me energy. The second level, it gives me energy to do much better thing else, like studying, developing myself, bring joy to people, and constructive to this society, and be much more than that, much more than just an existing person. So in a way, this little meat has become something that transcends into contributing to the society, helping life become better for people around me, for myself, develop things. I may become a scientist who discover the cure for cancer in the future, because today I eat meat. Who knows, right? Let's just take that analogy. So those three reasons, if you forget already, I'll repeat. The first one is is in my system, in my culture, is my way of living. I get used to it and I like it. The second of all is that in my belief system, I personally don't believe that eating meat equals to killing and abusing animal. Now the third one is, this is my choice and I choose to do so. I have body autonomy, I have free will, and it's legal. Okay, so should I put this into the fourth choice, the fourth reasons? It is legal, by the way. Yeah, it is legal to eat meat. It is legal to raise a pig on your own and kill it to eat meat. Yes. Yeah, that's the reason. I have no, and otherwise, I don't have any reason that prevent me from eating meat. Like, for example, if it's illegal, it will make it much more difficult for me to eat meat because it's illegal. But it's not. It's legal. It's active industry. Everyone eat it. Everyone enjoy it. It's a very profitable industry. It helps growing the society, the economy. It helps creating the beautiful cuisine, beautiful tasty food. It could also be it's badass experience for people coming from other countries to taste other countries to use it. There are like billion, gazillion ways that meat as a food. It's like one of the biggest food that ever since day one human has eaten. The gazillion way that meat can become such a beautiful thing in this life, in humanity's life. And I won't spend too much time talking about that because obviously you all know if you just think about it. You integrate with everything around your life. If you meet it, by the way. Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. It's not just the meat, you know that. It's not just the meat, it's a beautiful thing. It's transcendent, right? The Japanese eat fish. Fish helps them grow to 100 year old because of such a good and delicious and nutritious food. The Colombian eats meat a lot. That's why it helps them get very good at health and good at football because it's very strong. Meat produce athletes, top athletes in USA, in China. Okay, let me fix my posture a bit. Face directly like this. Yeah. So there you go. Okay, let's move on to the third layer. Now I'm gonna dive directly into the conversation. As a start, I mentioned is the argument against anti-meat eater. Because why anti-meat eater? I haven't seen yet in real life, but on the internet, there are a lot of vegan people that are against, you could say, are against the people who eat meat. I believe the number of people who eat meat are the majority of this world. So essentially, the people that vegan people are against are the majority of the world. It doesn't have anything to do with, I don't imply anything, but it's just a fact. When vegan people are against the meat eaters, they are against most of the world, I think like 90%. Because veganism, I think, is just rather popular in some particular countries. But in most other countries, the dominant population eat meat. And it has always been a way of life. Yeah. So why are those people against eating meat? I mean, the people who eat meat specifically. I get that those people, the vegan people, are against eating meat because they believe in a cause that makes them feel that they are moral superior. Now this is a term, a particular term that I'm going to use in this video is moral superior. Most of their argument against eating meat is to stop the killing and abusing of animal. Now first of all, where do we come to this? Where do they come to the killing and abusing animal? They come from two things. First of all, they consider animals to be equal to human. That they're sentient being, yes, they are. They feel the same way as human, hence we must reduce the pain that we inflict on them because they have the feeling as animal. So basically, they are empathetic. Empathy, right? They have empathy. The second of all, they believe that in order to produce meat, the killing and abusing of animal must exist. So these are two assumptions that I'm gonna tackle into first right away, right? First of all, The fact that animals are sentient beings, yes, it's true. They have thoughts, they have ability to move, but whether they can think or feel like human, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. It's there's I think, so this is what I think, right? This is not scientific research. I think there's not yet a very firm evidence on whether they actually think or feel as human or not. We can never really know. We can never really know. And yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna dive further because the more I go, just more math. The second thing is, does eating meat, to produce meat, does it actually mean the killing or and the abusing of the animal? I think not. I think in many big industry, the killing and the abusing of animal did happen. Yes, it does happen. It does happen. So they're true in that aspect, but it doesn't automatically mean that, because in many, for example, farms, local farms, small factory, the factory that prioritize the well-being of the animal for its meat being good, they will treat animals very nicely. They don't abuse. They're not. Many farmers confirm this. Many factories confirm this. There are procedure. You can look into it. Even some farms that produce dairy milk, they have conditions for the cows that are even better than humans, right? So it's not always that. It's not always killing and abusing in order to produce meat. It's not. It's just not. It's just. Yes, it can be majority or not. I'm not sure. It can be. Yes, it is a thing, but it can be majority. But many aspect of that is not killing and is not abusing. Okay, the killing, even some, they may not feel pain. They may not feel pain. Like, you cannot be sure that they feel pain, right? Okay, so we already tackled two problems first. And okay, let's move on. They are against eating meat. That's why they get into veganism. They believe they are saving animals. And to some extent, they're saving animals. Mass production of meat, if the lack of some buyers, for example, 100 people buy 100 meat, right? Normally, those 100 people will buy all the 100 meats. But when there are 10 people that go vegan, for example, they don't buy meat. So only 90 people buy 90 meat, so there are 10 meat left. That meat, where do you think it's gonna go? It's probably go to waste, because it already being produced. It cannot come back to cow. This meat cannot come back to cows. Okay, so it will go waste anyway without someone consuming it. So they don't really do anything. The vegan people, they don't really do anything saving environment, saving animals. The factories still produce anyway, and that is the reality. And it's harsh, I know, accept it or not. Right. They're against the people who eat meat like me, because they correlate, link the act of eating meat to killing and abusing of animal. Whether in reality, most of the people who eat meat don't even have never killed any cow, any pig in their life. Okay? Those people just eat what's already produced. And is really that their fault? And then they have the audacity to say that they are immoral. They are psychopath. To some extreme, that there are very extreme vegan people out there. Okay, so let's tackle the first claim here, the biggest claim of all. Eating meat is immoral. Are you serious? Really? Eating meat is immoral? Alright. If you already criticize that, you must be criticizing the whole world, essentially, and criticizing the human for all of its existence now to this point. Humans have always been omnivore, which they eat both plant and eat both meat. It sounds like an old cliche. Yeah, you can just eat plant and survive. Okay, but I can also eat both plant and meat to survive. Let's leave that to later. But now just tackle immoral thing first. Morality in general is still an ongoing research field, and I don't really think they have any authority to judge the morality of the people who eat meat. They simply don't. They don't have the right and the audacity to. They are not essentially superior to anyone just because they just ate plants, right? And there's no cosmic scoreboard set you have to save all the animals. Let's do this right away. Does killing animal means that you're immoral? So morality, in my opinion, is relative in societal sense. Now, eating meat has always been accepted as a normal way of life. People said it's okay. It's chain. We are the animal who eat meat as well. So it's acceptable. So it's not immoral to eat meat. But is it immoral to kill animal? It depends on the purpose. For example, my family in the past, they used to kill the pigs that they raised themselves to eat meat. Otherwise, they would starve because those are very hard time. So you would say they're immoral because they kill their own pig for meat to eat to survive? Well, how about if they don't eat those meat, if they don't kill the pig, they would die of hunger. And you would want that for them? You would rather want a family die of hunger than a pig that family raised from the first place to live. Is that consistent logic? I think not. No, it's just not. It's just not immoral, right? So in that situation, okay, before you say that your family could have eaten plant, no, but that time is really difficult. The agriculture is failing. There is not much plant around, okay? There's only meat, not even rice. And if they only ate plant at that time where there's no supplement, they don't have the excessive amount of plant to eat like you guys nowadays. Like the vegan people have to eat billion and billion of plants per day just to stay nutritious, not starve. Well, in that time they don't have the same privilege. The only way to have adequate energy to survive, to live on, is through meat. Okay. Right. So killing meat, so let me be specific, right? Eating meat for the purpose of eating it, for a good purpose, it's not immoral. Nowadays, eating, okay, you can say nowadays we don't have to eat meat to survive. I don't have to eat meat to survive like my family back in the day, in old time, like in my grandparents' time. But I need that to thrive, to grow, both physically and mentally. And it's good for me. It's good for me. It serves a purpose. Transform into energy. The animals that have been killed, they are metaphorically living inside me right now. Their energy is mine. I appreciate them. I appreciate the cows and pigs that have been sacrificed for my well-being. So it's not immoral at all. It's just not. It's just relatively based on a wide range value system, belief system and moral system of the society of most majority of population. It's not immoral. Okay? To the vegan community, it's definitely immoral. But it doesn't mean that in our community it's immoral. It's different. That's different. That's the difference right there. Two morality systems can exist at the same time. Familiar with the concept? No? Oh yeah, you should get familiar with that concept. Yeah. And killing people, killing animals just for the sake of it, just for the fun. Well, no, I don't agree with that. I will suppose that is immoral. Yeah. For example, an animal is hunting you, and you have to kill them to defend, to live. Does that make you immoral? No. Again, killing animal is not immoral because it has many layers, many extents. Killing animals has, in and of itself is many purpose. It's many images. There you go. Now take on the second problem is abusing animal. I don't really know about this, but I suppose it does happen. I've seen videos, picture. And I mean in mass industry, yeah, it has to happen. Now that is what I call the trade-off. The trade-off. Okay? Just like they have to produce mass agriculture, harvest in order for you to eat plants, they have to be mass and effective in meat industry in order for most of the population to not starve, right? So I think I don't support it. I will, rather engage in conversation that talk about how to reduce the suffering and abuse of animal in industry rather than completely stop it. Now here's the difference. Most of the vegan people usually talk about when they want to eliminate eating meat is they want to completely stop. They want to completely stop the producing meat process, the abusing process, by just not producing them at all. But I think here is more nuanced and more complex situation where you can reduce without completely stop the process. You can reduce the abuse maybe by getting better factory, getting better processing process, better farms, for example. Yeah, that's how it is. And yeah, I mean, even now, even with the knowledge that they are abused, I don't feel ashamed by eating meat because first of all, eating meat serves a purpose. It's good for me. So I love it. It's necessary for me. So the meat surface is alright, okay? Now the abuse surface, I will consider them trade-off, because to have good things in life, I would consider eating meat in many aspects it's a good thing in life. Now to have good things in life, this is a concept in life by the way, you must have some trade-off. You must have sacrifice. Animals, I'm sorry, but that process is necessary, alright? I don't have to feel guilty about it. That is the way that already being determined. Now, I already solved the two problems. The eating meat is immoral, and eating meat automatically means killing and abusing animals. Now we're moving on into the reality of most people. So this is what I'm gonna dive in shortly, is that most of the people usually just buy meat, eat meat, enjoy, and move on with their life. They don't especially engage in the act of actually killing and abusing animal. So don't put the morality burden on them and on us, on me. Okay? That's the clear difference. When people argue about this, they usually don't use their logical thinking part in their brain at all. It's just very ridiculous to me. There's a very clear difference between just eating meat, just buying them from a store, from a supermarket, than actually in the factory killing. Now, it's a big difference, okay? It's not close at all. It's not close at all. Not close. Not even close. If you take a kid, let's take a kid for first, because it's ridiculous. A kid who eats beef every day to a farm and tell them to kill cow, because you assume that by eating meat that kid is capable of killing that cow. Do you think he would kill that cow? He would be able in the first place to kill that cow, to abuse them, to bash them to death, to cut them into pieces? No. So why do you automatically link eating meat to killing and abusing them? You're talking like as if we knew and we are capable of how to killing. We have the mental capacity to kill them, and maybe even laugh at them, even be satisfied because of that killing. No, it's just not, right? It's just an analogy. If a person who eat meat, even you take adults, most of them would not dare to hurt a cow, let alone killing and abusing it, right? You're talking as if all of them are psychopaths, which are not. Now, if they eat meat and they cannot do that, then how can they kill and abuse? Right, again, it's the same problem. It's the same one way to another, A to B, A and B to A, right? So they're capable of eating meat, enjoying it. They're not capable, and they don't enjoy, right? They don't have the mental capacity to kill and abuse animal. Okay, let's get that for done. So it's done. It's a long distance between the producing process and the eating process, the consuming process. It's a long way, long distance down the way. And we should not take two of them into one. We should not assimilate them. Yeah, put them into one. It's a bad thing. It's a bad logical thinking. It's bad critical thinking. All right. The next problem. Let's talk about. Okay, I get this. Now, there's, as I said before, morality is relative, and there are different belief and morality system, right? There's And so in that system, the killing of animal for the sake of eating meat is also relative. Not animal is being killed for meat, bro. Not animal. Not every animal. Okay? For example, would you eat a monkey? No, most of the meat eaters don't even eat monkey or dog or the pets, the fish in the tank. No, right? Why is that? Have vegan people ever asked question about that? Have they ever thought of that? Why the meat eaters, the psychopath, the immoral being don't eat dogs, don't eat cats, even though they're also meat? Why? Your answer will reveal what is very contradictory to your own belief system, vegan people. That is, we have limits. We have relative judgment on what animal to kill for meat, to eat, to subtract the energy from. Those animals usually are fish, sea animals like shrimp, crabs, cow, pig, buffalo, maybe sometimes horse. But horse is, I think nowadays, it's not ethic to eat horse, and not anymore. So people reduce on it, and so yeah, there's ethic in it. In us, we have ethic. Is that surprising? Is that contradictory to what you have always been thinking about? Like we have no ethic. We're immoral. Well, yes, we do. We just don't eat what is clearly not for meat. Not anymore is for meat. Okay, so there's this. So there's limit. There's relative field. Area scale in what you can eat and what you cannot. If we're so barbaric, why shouldn't we already eat dog already, right? So there are animals that are optimal for meat, for being eaten, and there are animals not optimal for being eaten. Okay, that is just purely logical, consistent, right? Vegan people usually guilt trip the meat eaters. It's what they do very, very well. They guilt trip and they feel like they are moral superior. They feel like they're doing a good cause. They might do a good cause, and we have no support to that. But the act of forcing opinions onto other people is very bad. It's very bad. It's people's choice. Okay. Okay. So move on to the next big thing is the health concern. It's also a very big debate. I think the second biggest problem behind the immoral thing, which is eating plants. This is the claim they make, okay? Eating plant is equally nutritious to eating meat. I think that's true. So all of these things that they talk about health is just what they do in order to convince people into going to vegan, because many people don't want to go into vegan because they don't want, they have the misconception that eating plants only will be less nutritious and less efficient as eating meat. But with enough plants diet, with enough diverse, bio plant system with supplement, you may get as much nutrition and health as eating meat. Yes, I don't deny it. I confirm it. I've seen research on that. And yes, I agree that eating plants is just as good. No deny on that one. Here's what I think about, okay? Yes, it may be equally as good, but it's gonna take much more effort than just eating meat to absorb the nutrition for that. Meat alone can contain really good, really diverse vitamins, nutrients, and especially energy. Meat can help you sustain the energy for much longer time than plant does. The last time I only eat vegetable, I already fainted in the middle of the day while I study. And the last time I eat meat, I can do sports all day without getting tired. So there's a very clear difference. Not only it takes much more effort to maintain the same level of health as eating meat, but it's also eating meat help you grow and help you sustain energy much better. So it is easier to live a good life, good healthy life than plant. I'm saying it's still possible to eat plants like that, but it's much more difficult than the same person who eat meat to obtain those nutrition, right? So that's the primary reason that I stay where I am, because eating meat help me thrive. Protein. Yeah, I mean there's not much to say about this because I don't have much knowledge about this field of especially nutrition stuff, but here's what I can confirm. All right, so let's say my friend, she's vegan, but she has to take a lot of supplement, have to buy a mixer, have to take a lot of time and effort into cooking, into preparing her meal, how to not to starve and not to be malnutritious. So it takes her a lot of effort not to starve and not to stay malnourished. Yeah, just to do that already take a lot of effort and time, okay? Comparing to me is very easy to stay on the basic level, that is to survive, to not starve, and to maintain the nutrition. I can just eat meat and vegetable for a whole year. I can stay just as healthy. And it's much easier for me to stay more healthy, grow muscle, become athletic, becomes mentally strong to study for hours just by eating more meat, more fruits, more vegetable, mixed together. Most of the recipe, the cooking, involve meat, involved to make the food good and more nutritious. A lot of cuisine involve meat to make it much more nutritious. In fact, in most of the cuisine, I think the meat plays the most important role into making it nutritious and tasty. And oh my goodness, have I ignored this from the start? That eating meat is much more tasty than eating plants. It's a fact, okay? You gotta agree with this one. That's why vegan people still eat meat texturing food. That they enjoy the meat taste of it, right? Right? Meat is so good, just tasty, just awesome. Hence, I enjoy it. People enjoy it, and the world cannot stop. Okay, the world cannot stop eating the meat. They can't. It's just life. In the end, I only have one life, and I'd rather spend my life enjoying than suffering. Um, right. Hmm. Meat is just tasty. Helps you not only enjoy life more, become happy, bring joy to people too. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I'm about to say something, but I essentially forget. Let me take some moment to remember here, to recall. What did I think about? Eating meat is just tasty. It's good. It's good, alright? Oh, here's what I'm very confused about. Okay, get this. So, if the vegan people are so committed to, not even committed, let's take this bluntly. If they actually care about animal not getting killed, you know, why do they enjoy eating meat texturing food? When they eat meat texturing food, the bland food that have meat flavor, doesn't that remind them of the actual meat that they, animals actually being killed for? That must be weird, because let's say you prepare a meal that resemble a human. Yes, I know that it's not human, but when I eat it, doesn't that remind me of a human? And I may find that disgusting because it feels like I'm eating a human. Okay, let's take this for an easier analogy. You prepare a meal that looks like a toilet. So, can you fully enjoy eating it knowing that it's like you're eating shit? Or a meal that looks like shit? Can you eat it? Can you even eat it? Can you even enjoy it? No, because it looks like shit. It reminds you of shit. Then why, for the heaven's sake, you find meat so disgusting, so terrible? Why do you enjoy food that texture like meat? I still don't. I don't get it. Even though people explain it, no matter how they make it rational, I cannot understand. I just cannot. It's just weird to me, It's just both weird, irregular, illogical, and just bluntly hypocritical. Right. Just hypocritical of them to eat food that tastes like meat flavor. Yeah. But I don't judge them. They can do whatever they want. But please, please, don't attack meat eaters. Don't forcing views onto the people that eat meat. You can spread ideas in a meaningful and constructive way, but not attacking, say like, oh, you enjoy killing, you're a psychopath. Hey, get that shit out of here, okay? I'm not here for that, okay? When I meet people like that, you know what? I'll just walk away in my own life. Let them live their own life and let them bother other people's life, because I'm just tired. This has been in this so long, and this, there's no strongest argument against veganism, against vegan people. I simply think that it's a matter of choice. Now, the matter of choice to me, I would bring up here is the biggest reason for me to stay where I am and be proud of who I am. To not be ashamed, to not be affected by those ill opinions. Yeah, just choice, just my choice, okay? Do we need to dive more about arguments between people, two groups? Yeah, just my opinions. Oh, okay, let's dive into okay, let's take this final one. There are so many fields and aspects that being talked about in a vegan debate, vegan versus meat eater debate, but this is also a very big one, and I'm going to take this as a final one, which is the environment impact. So they say that meat industry destroy the the meat industry destroy the government, and I mean the environment is bad for environment. But again, agriculture industry is bad for environment too. What I do here, what I imply here, is not comparing between two fields, two options. Like, yeah, if agriculture is bad, then meat is bad, meat industry is bad, it's okay too. No, that's not what I imply. What I imply is everything has trade-off. The agriculture has trade-off, the meat industry trade-off. You cannot compare and take analogy, for example, like the rubbish processing, and the factory that release gas into the sky is bad for environment too. How can I put this? Okay, I will speak this like a vegan person would say, right? They would say like, okay, I see your argument. You argue about the agriculture industry also bad for environment too. But let's say the factories that release gas is bad for environment too. Do we also just keep them? And I say, no, we don't keep them, because for what? The thing is that the factory that release gas is actually bad for the environment, and it's just blatantly destroy the government very badly, and they can be reduced. We should act on that, right? But here's the difference. The meat industry is very different. They actually produce meat, they actually produce food for people. So it does good thing. Its outcome is good. It's necessary. So we cannot just cut off the meat industry just because they're bad for environment. What about like 7 billion people? Apply the same logic, right? Do we cut out the agriculture industry just because it's bad for environment too? No, because vegan people like you would starve too. You see now? You see the reason now? Oh, you say, oh, we can cut the meat industry because you can survive without it. You can just eat plant like us. Enjoy the agriculture industry. I'm saying like, no. Why? We can survive without bike. We can survive without car. We can survive without almost every essential modern day equipment. Yet we don't. Would you survive without? Yes, you can survive. You can survive. Just go to the forest. Don't live in a house. Don't use those equipment. You know how those equipments are being produced? Yes, in the factory. And those factories are bad for environment, believe it or not. Do you cut those factories too? Just because they're bad for environment? The factory that produce your own goods, the goods that you're using? That's when hypocriticism really comes into the plate. Right, they wouldn't cut the factory that produced the goods for them, but they would very ready to cut the industry that produce meat for people like me, because they they want the meat eaters to join them to eat just plant. They want everyone to eat just plant like them, but in reality, not everyone has the same lifestyle. Not everyone live just based on plants, live just based on plant diets. No, not everyone can just eat plant alone. Not everyone can cut off meat completely, and that's not everyone's choice. All right, I don't get aggressive here. There's no need. It's not like the vegan people is gonna convince 7 billion people to go vegan. Anyways, I just think that it's gonna. I just I only feel how, like, how can I say? I can only feel like how they feel when they think of all the people that are never gonna convert to veganism like they are, and I can only imagine the frustration they must feel, the hopelessness they must feel, um, you know, knowing that there will be always majority of the world who will always be meat eaters, will always eat meat and not be like them, because they want everyone to be like them. I get what they're doing. They're spreading ideas. They're making better future for their kids. They want more people like them. They want larger community. They want to gradually transform the society into a more ethical one, moral one, you know. I get it. And I think and they think they're doing good deeds. Let them. I'm not here to go against the movement, to go against the protest, to go against all the activities that they have, but I am against personal insults, attack, labeling that they have for the meat eaters like me. I'm against 100% against. I'm against people that are rude, disrespectful in general, not just vegan people. I'm against they forcing views and believe that they're moral superior, because that's not a thing. So yeah. Oh, by the way, in the wild, animals eat animals too. It's like a chain of food. Are they? I wonder this one thing, right? I'm talking to meat eaters right now. I wonder if they feel frustrated at the lions too. Okay, what if one day their dogs eat some meat accidentally? How would they feel? They would feel angry at those animals for the rest of their life? That's just sad. They feel angry at the nature of killing each other every single day. And if they don't feel that way, I have a bigger question. Why don't you feel angry at those animals killing animals? Isn't that just, yeah, you're angry at human killing animals, but you're not angry at animals kill animals. So what's the difference? Why suddenly you're not mad anymore, right? That's just inconsistent. And like you said, all your logic backfires. It backfires. You said human or animal. Human or animal. Yes, in partly, partly way, humans are animal. So if you have such a strict and rigid structural way of thinking, then why don't you get mad at animals? Killing animals, because humans are animals. What's the difference? All two are the same, right? And this final thing, when I think of how vegan people would feel, because it's not about me, okay? It's not, because I'm okay. They think what they think. They choose what they choose. They do what they do. I'm okay, and I protect myself. I live the life I live, and that's good enough. There's nothing to debate here. I'm fine, I'm okay, and I'm more than happy than ever to live this life. Going on. And there's this final thing, when I come to think of the vegan people, I just feel a sense of pity for the people that are very extreme, go against people, are mad and angry at the same all the time. They just have a very miserable life. Yeah, I just feel bad for them. It's just like, imagine holding hatred for the rest of your life. It's like you withdraw from society and then you get mad at society for the rest of your life. Now, that is something that just gonna do damage on you and you only. So yeah, there's one thing I can say to vegan people. Here's this, okay? So I respect you. I respect your choice. I support your choice. I get what you're doing. I understand why you do it. But there should be some limit to it, and you should look into better solution to all of this. We can reduce animal abusing, that's for sure. But we cannot stop animal killing. Even at the big scale, like industry level, we just can't. The industry exists for a reason. Killing animal is complicated. It has many purposes. For example, killing for meat is not immoral. And eating meat shouldn't be ashamed. Going vegan and being vegan is not moral superiority. You shouldn't force your view onto each other. You shouldn't insult other people. You shouldn't go out of the way and disturb other people's lives, disturb business. You can protest. You can peacefully protest, to put that specifically. You can spread ideas. You can guide people who actually go into veganism. Now that's productive way. Now that's actually efficient, and that's actually meaningful thing to do, right? You should guide people who go into veganism what to do, get them advice, help people get better life, instead of destroying people and get to annoy the people who already live their life, like me. I'm just tired of seeing the bullshit going on and on and on and on. It's just pointless. It's just, after all, there's no cosmic scoreboard. Okay, there's no cosmic scoreboard. There's nothing that said you oh no, you must stop this, you must do this, you must do that. No. And finally, there's this very hard to accept thing. That is, there's no objective truth in this universe. There's no objective, no such thing that's called objective thing in this life. All that you ever discuss, all that you ever say and do is based on your subjective view. Put that for sure. Subjective is subjective view. It's entirely based on just your people's subjective thinking view. Even if you say that, oh no, it's objective, morality is objective, evil, something like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break this to you, but it's still just your subjective opinion. So, and that cannot change anything. Why do I have the audacity to determine that everything in this universe is objective, you ask? Well, it's a very good question because it relates more to philosophy, and maybe I will dive into this in the far future about this philosophical question. Why is everything in this universe there's no such thing in this universe that is objective. Yeah. But now the video is long enough. I won't dive into it, accept it or not. So yeah, that's my message for vegan people. Just live your life, man. Man and woman, just live your life. Mind your own business. Just try to live a good life. Enjoy your food. Enjoy it. Don't bear hatred. There's already enough hatred in this world. There's enough misery in this world. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's my message. And I thank you guys for watching. This has been a very long discussion video. I didn't plan to make it this long, but you know how it goes. This is very complicating topic to get into. Appreciated you listen to this part, and again, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video, another video. This is the first video that I ever do this format, speaking stuff, and I'm gonna go to sleep. It's my bed right there. See ya.